The massive alien ship hung in Earth's orbit like a dark cloud blocking the stars. Inside, Commander Red Eye of the Galactic Survey Fleet stared at the screen showing the blue planet below. His antenna twitched with worry as he watched the readings from the surface. "This cannot be right," he muttered, his large eyes blinking rapidly. "Check the sensors again." His science officer, Blue Spark, ran the scans once more. "The readings are correct, Commander. The dominant species on this planet lives alongside multiple apex predators. They even keep them in their homes." Red Eye's normally gray skin turned pale. In all his years exploring new worlds, he had never seen anything like this. Most intelligent species evolve to avoid predators, not live with them. These humans seemed to break every rule of survival they knew. "Show me examples," he ordered. The main screen lit up with images from the planet's surface. Red Eye watched in horror as a human child wrapped its arms around a large furry creature with sharp teeth and claws, what the humans called a dog. In another image, a human slept peacefully while a smaller predator, a cat, curled up on their chest. "Impossible," Blue Spark whispered. "Those creatures could tear them apart in seconds. How are they not afraid?" More images appeared, humans riding massive beasts called horses, training wolves to work with them, keeping birds of prey on their arms, and even swimming with enormous water predators they named dolphins. Each new picture made the alien crew more confused and amazed. "There's more, Commander," Blue Spark reported. "They don't just live with these predators, they breed them. They've created hundreds of different types of these dogs and cats for different purposes. Some for hunting, some for protection, and some just for companionship." Red Eye couldn't believe what he was hearing. On his home world, any creature with sharp teeth or claws was avoided at all costs. The idea of keeping one as a pet was unthinkable. "Send a message to High Command," he ordered. "We need more experts here. This species has achieved something we thought impossible." As the message was sent, Red Eye continued to watch the scenes from Earth. He saw a human rescue team using dogs to find people trapped in collapsed buildings. He watched farmers working alongside horses to plow fields. He observed police officers patrolling with trained dogs at their sides. "Look at this," Blue Spark called out. "They even have special schools to train their seeing eye dogs to help humans who can't see. These predators aren't just pets, they're helpers and partners." The more they watched, the more amazed they became. Humans had somehow turned some of nature's most efficient killing machines into loyal allies. Even more surprisingly, these partnerships seemed to benefit both species. The predators received food, shelter, and care, while humans gained protection, assistance, and companionship. "Should we make contact?" Blue Spark asked nervously. A species that can tame apex predators might be dangerous. Red Eye thought carefully. These humans were clearly either incredibly brave or completely insane. Perhaps both. Either way, they had achieved something remarkable. "Prepare a first contact team," he decided. "But first, we need to understand more about how they do this. Send down observation drones to gather more data." The drones departed quickly, spreading across the planet to watch humans and their animal companions. They recorded countless interactions, a firefighter and his dog searching through rubble, a farmer and her horse working as one, a child teaching tricks to a pet cat, and elderly people finding comfort in the company of gentle dogs. What shocked the aliens most was how the humans treated these predators. They didn't rule through fear or force. Instead, they used something the aliens had never considered: kindness. They saw humans offering food, gentle touches, and warm words. The predators responded with loyalty and affection. "Commander," Blue Spark reported after hours of observation, "I think I understand now. The humans don't just tame these creatures, they form bonds with them. They treat them as family. Red-Eye watched as a small human child fell asleep against the fur of a massive dog, the predator gently curling around the child protectively. In that moment, he realized they had discovered something revolutionary. "This changes everything we thought we knew about predator-prey relationships," he said. "These humans haven't just survived alongside predators, they've created partnerships that make both species stronger." As the alien ship continued its orbit, more data poured in. They saw therapy animals helping sick humans heal. They watched search and rescue teams work in perfect coordination with their dogs. They observed cats keeping homes free of dangerous pests. "Send a new message to High Command," Red-Eye ordered. "Tell them we've found a species that doesn't just adapt to their environment, they transform it. Through patience and kindness, they've turned ancient enemies into faithful friends." The message was sent, and the aliens continued their observations, knowing that their first meeting with humans would be unlike any first contact in galactic history. They had discovered a species that proved love could overcome millions of years of evolutionary fear. As Earth's sun set below the horizon, Red-Eye made a final entry in his log: "The humans have shown us that true strength isn't about dominating other species, it's about forming bonds of trust and friendship. Perhaps they have much to teach us all." The observation team landed their cloaked ship in a large park near a busy city. They chose early morning hours when fewer humans would be around, but there were still enough to study. Red-Eye and Blue Spark wore their most advanced disguise suits, making them look like ordinary humans taking a walk. "Remember," Red-Eye told his team, "we must not interact. Only observe." His words were barely finished and a human jogged past them with 3 dogs running alongside her. The aliens froze, but the dogs merely glanced at them and kept running. Blue Spark's sensors went wild. "Commander, those predators detected us. But they didn't attack. They didn't even alert their human." As the morning continued, more humans arrived at the park. The aliens watched in amazement as people played with their dogs, throwing small balls and disc-shaped toys. Each time a dog caught one, they brought it back, wanting to play more. "Look at their body language," the team's behavior expert, Green Whisper, pointed out. "The predators show excitement, but they control their strength. They know their humans are more fragile, yet they still want to play." Their observations were interrupted by loud barking. A large dog was rushing toward a small human child. The aliens tensed, ready to break their cover to help, but then they saw something extraordinary. The dog stopped right before reaching the child, dropped a toy, and gently licked the child's face while the little one giggled. "Incredible," Red-Eye muttered. "The restraint, the gentleness, these creatures could easily hurt the young ones, but instead, they protect them." They moved their observations to different locations throughout the day. They saw a police officer and her dog partner patrolling streets, the dog alert but calm. In a hospital garden, they watched elderly humans petting therapy dogs, their faces lighting up with joy. At a farm outside the city, they observed even larger creatures. Horses carried humans on their backs, following gentle commands. Cats prowled around barns, keeping the building free of small pests. Even the farm dogs had jobs, herding sheep and protecting chickens from wild predators. They've created a whole system, Blue Spark realized. Each animal has a purpose, a role to play. And they all work together, predators protecting prey animals, all under human guidance. The team's most surprising discovery came when they found a wildlife rehabilitation center. Here, humans were helping injured wild predators, hawks with broken wings, wounded wolves, and even young bears. They treated these animals with the same care they showed their pets, even knowing these creatures could never be fully tamed. "This goes beyond simple taming," Green Whisper said. "They help even the animals that can't give them anything in return. It's not just about usefulness, they genuinely care." As evening approached, they visited a neighborhood area. Through windows, they saw cats sleeping on couches, dogs waiting by doors for their humans to come home, and families sharing their living spaces with these predators as if it was the most natural thing in the world. A small drama unfolded in front of them when a stranger approached a house. The family dog inside began barking loudly, alerting its humans to the unfamiliar person. But when the humans welcomed the stranger as a friend, the dog immediately calmed down and greeted them warmly. Their ability to read human social cues is remarkable, Blue Spark noted. They understand human relationships and adjust their behavior accordingly. Just then, their observations were interrupted by an unexpected event. A human child fell off their bicycle nearby, crying out in pain. Before the aliens could process what was happening, the child's dog rushed to their side, barking for help. Other humans quickly came to assist, and the dog stayed close, licking the child's tears away. "Did you see that?" Green Whisper asked excitedly. The predator not only recognized distress but knew to call for help. They understand human emotions and know how to respond to them. As night fell, the team prepared to return to their main ship. But their last observation touched them the most. Through a house window, they watched as a human family settled down for the evening. Their dog and cat found their usual spots, the dog at the child's feet, the cat in an elderly family member's lap. The scene radiated peace and trust. "I think I understand now," Red Eye said quietly. "These aren't just tamed predators or useful allies. They're family members. The humans have somehow bridged a gap we thought was impossible to cross." Back on their ship, the team compiled their day's observations. The evidence was clear: humans hadn't just tamed predators, they'd formed deep emotional bonds with them. These animals weren't serving humans out of fear or just for food. There was genuine love and trust on both sides. "Send all this to High Command," Red Eye ordered. "They need to understand, the humans' greatest strength isn't their technology or their numbers. It's their ability to turn ancient enemies into family, their talent for forming bonds across species barriers. This is something entirely new in the galaxy." As they prepared for the next day's observations, Red Eye made a personal note in his log: "Perhaps we've been wrong about predators all along. The humans haven't just tamed them, they've shown us that even the fiercest creatures are capable of love and loyalty when treated with kindness and respect. This could change everything we thought we knew about interspecies relationships." The alien research team received new orders from High Command. They needed to understand how humans turn dangerous predators into loyal companions. Red Eye gathered his team for their most daring mission yet, visiting a dog training center. Their disguises had improved after studying humans more closely. This time, they posed as a group interested in learning about dog training. The human trainer welcomed them with a smile, not suspecting her new students were actually aliens. "First rule of working with dogs," the trainer explained, "is that you have to be patient and kind. Dogs respond to love and treats, not fear and force." The aliens typed notes frantically into their hidden devices. This went against everything they believed about controlling dangerous creatures. The trainer brought out a large dog that made Blue Spark step back nervously. But the dog sat calmly, watching the trainer with devoted eyes. "This is Rex," she said. "He was afraid of people when we found him. Now he helps train other dogs." They watched in amazement as the trainer demonstrated basic commands. Rex responded instantly to her voice, sitting, staying, and coming when called. But what surprised the aliens most was how happy the dog seemed, wagging its tail and looking at the trainer with complete trust. "The key is positive reinforcement," the trainer continued, giving Rex a treat after he followed a command. "They want to make us happy. Our job is to show them how and reward them when they do." Green Whisper raised a hand, trying to copy human gestures. "But what about their natural hunting instincts? Aren't they dangerous?" The trainer smiled. "Dogs are naturally protective, not aggressive. With proper training, they channel those instincts into positive behaviors. Watch this." She demonstrated how Rex could find hidden objects, showing how hunting skills could be used for helpful purposes. As they observed more training sessions, the aliens saw puppies learning basic commands, adult dogs mastering complex tasks, and even formerly aggressive dogs learning to be gentle. Each success was rewarded with treats, praise, and affection. "Notice how the rewards aren't just food," Red-Eye whispered to his team. "The dogs seem equally motivated by the humans' happiness and attention." Their next stop was even more impressive, a K-9 police training facility. Here, they watched as dogs learned to track scents, find hidden objects, and apprehend pretend criminals. The aliens were amazed by how the dogs could switch between being playful and serious instantly. "These dogs love their work," the police trainer explained. "For them, tracking down criminals or finding missing people is like a game, but they understand the importance of their job." During a demonstration, a police dog caught a person wearing protective gear, gripping their arm firmly but not causing injury. At a single command from their handler, the dog released immediately and returned to their side, tail wagging. "Such control!" Blue Spark marveled. "They can moderate their bite strength and know exactly when to stop." The team's understanding deepened when they visited an animal shelter next. Here, they saw humans working to rehabilitate abandoned and abused animals. Despite past mistreatment, many of these creatures still showed an amazing capacity to trust humans again. A shelter worker introduced them to a cat that had been found on the streets. When she arrived, she wouldn't let anyone near her, the worker explained. "Now look." The cat rubbed against her hand, purring loudly. With patience and gentle care, they learned to trust again. Red-Eye watched closely as volunteers worked with nervous dogs, speaking softly and offering treats. Gradually, tails began to wag, and fearful eyes grew friendly. "They're not just training them," he realized. "They're healing them." The most powerful moment came when a family arrived to adopt a dog. The aliens watched as a formerly abandoned pet transformed from nervous to overjoyed, somehow understanding it was getting a new home. The dog covered its new family with kisses while they laughed and hugged it. "Commander," Green Whisper said quietly, "I think we've been asking the wrong question. We wondered how humans tame predators, but that's not what they're doing at all." "What do you mean?" Red-Eye asked. "They're not taming them, they're befriending them. It's a partnership, not domination. The animals choose to work with humans because humans make them feel safe and loved." That evening, as they compiled their reports, the team reflected on everything they'd learned. The humans' method was the opposite of what their own species had always believed about controlling dangerous creatures. Instead of using fear and force, they used love and patience. "Add this to the report," Red-Eye instructed. "The humans have discovered something remarkable, that even the fiercest predator has the capacity for love and loyalty. They don't break the animals' spirits, they nurture them. They don't dominate, they cooperate." Blue Spark looked up from his notes. "Should we try this approach with some of the dangerous species on our own worlds?" "One step at a time," Red-Eye replied. "First, we need to understand more about how humans created this bond in the first place. Tomorrow, we'll investigate something they call animal rescue. Apparently, humans risk their own lives to save animals in danger." As they prepared for the next day's mission, Red-Eye added a personal note to his log: "The humans' secret weapon isn't their technology or their strength, it's their capacity for compassion. They've proven that kindness can transform even the most fearsome predator into a loyal friend. Perhaps this is why they've advanced so far as a species. They don't just survive alongside nature, they form alliances with it." The alien research team arrived at a mountain rescue station early in the morning. Their new mission was to understand why humans would risk their lives to save animals. As they watched the rescue team prepare for a day's work, an emergency call came in. "Lost hiker in the Northern Valley," the rescue coordinator announced. "Their dog is with them, but night is coming, and a storm is approaching. The aliens watched in amazement as the human rescue team and their search dogs sprang into action without hesitation. Red-Eye and his team followed in their cloaked ship, observing from a safe distance. The rescue dogs moved through the rough terrain with incredible speed, their noses to the ground. The storm was getting worse, with heavy rain making visibility poor. "These conditions are dangerous," Blue Spark noted. Yet the humans and their dogs keep going. They watched as the dogs suddenly became excited, barking to signal they had found something. The rescue team found the lost hiker huddled under a rocky overhang, their own dog curled protectively around them for warmth. The hiker's ankle was injured, but their dog had stayed with them, keeping them warm and safe through the night. "Look at this," Green Whisper pointed out. "Both sides protecting each other. The human's dog didn't abandon them, and now the humans and their dogs are here to save both." Back at the rescue station, the team witnessed more examples of human-animal cooperation. They saw pictures of dogs finding people in collapsed buildings after earthquakes, horses helping to reach people stranded in remote areas, and even dolphins helping lifeguards save drowning swimmers. Their observations were interrupted by another emergency call. A young bear had been found trapped in an old well outside town. The aliens were confused. Why would humans risk themselves to save a wild predator? They followed the rescue team to the site. The bear was frightened and aggressive, but the humans remained calm. They prepared tranquilizer darts and rescue equipment, working carefully to ensure both their safety and the bear's. "Remarkable," Red-Eye muttered. "On our world, we would leave the predator to its fate. These humans are about to risk their lives to save a creature that would gladly eat them." The rescue operation was delicate. After sedating the bear, the team carefully lifted it out of the well. They checked it for injuries, treated some minor scrapes, and prepared to transport it to a safe location for release. Why help a wild animal that will never thank them? Blue Spark wondered aloud. A rescue worker nearby overheard and answered, not knowing she was speaking to disguised aliens. "Every animal has a right to live. Besides, a healthy ecosystem needs its predators. We're all connected." The team followed as the humans transported the bear to a remote forest area. When it woke up, the bear quickly ran into the woods. The humans seemed satisfied just watching it return to its natural habitat. "They understand something we don't," Green Whisper realized. "They see themselves as part of nature, not separate from it." Their next stop was a marine animal rescue center. Here, they watched humans help injured seals, sea lions, and even sharks. One scene particularly caught their attention: humans bottle feeding an orphaned otter pup. "These are the same humans who hunt some marine animals for food," Red-Eye noted. "Yet here they are, spending time and resources to save them. The contradiction is fascinating." A new emergency drew their attention: a pod of whales had stranded themselves on a nearby beach. The aliens watched in awe as hundreds of humans worked together to keep the massive animals wet and comfortable while specialists worked to get them back to deeper water. Hour after hour, the humans pushed and pulled, refusing to give up. As the tide rose, their efforts paid off. One by one, the whales were guided back to sea. The humans cheered each successful rescue, even though they were exhausted and cold. "Commander," Blue Spark said, "I think I understand now. Humans don't just tame predators or rescue animals because it's useful to them. They do it because they feel responsible for all life on their planet." The team's final observation for the day was at a wildlife sanctuary. Here, they saw humans caring for animals that could never return to the wild: birds with broken wings, big cats too injured to hunt, wolves that had been raised in captivity. "These animals will never serve a practical purpose," Red-Eye observed. "They can't work like dogs or help humans hunt. Yet the humans care for them anyway." They watched as sanctuary workers prepared food, cleaned enclosures, and provided medical care. Each animal was treated with respect and kindness, regardless of its species or usefulness. Add this to our report, Red-Eye instructed. Humans don't just befriend predators because it benefits them. They seem to have an inherent drive to help and heal all creatures, even those that might harm them. As they prepared to return to their ship, they witnessed one final scene. A young elephant at the sanctuary was having nightmares, and its human caretaker sat with it all night, speaking softly and offering comfort. This goes beyond simple animal care, Green Whisper said. They recognize that animals have emotions, feel pain, and need comfort. They treat them as thinking, feeling beings. Back on their ship, Red-Eye updated their mission log. The humans' relationship with Earth's creatures is more complex than we initially thought. They don't just tame predators, they take responsibility for all animals, wild or domestic. They risk their lives to save them, heal them when they're hurt, and mourn them when they die. This level of interspecies empathy is unprecedented in our galactic surveys. He added a personal note, perhaps this is why humans have achieved something unique in the galaxy. They don't see themselves as separate from or superior to other species. They view themselves as protectors and caretakers of their world's creatures. This perspective has allowed them to turn ancient enemies into allies and create bonds that we never thought possible. The alien research team received puzzling new data from their global scans. They detected large numbers of predator animals inside human healing centers, places humans called hospitals. This made no sense to them. Why would humans bring predators near their sick and injured? We need to investigate this, Red-Eye decided. Their disguises were perfect now after weeks of studying humans. The team easily entered a large hospital, posing as visitors interested in the animal therapy program. A human coordinator greeted them warmly. Today we have visits scheduled in the children's ward, elderly care, and the mental health unit, she explained. A golden retriever dog sat calmly at her side, wearing a bright vest that marked it as a therapy animal. The aliens followed her to the children's ward first. Here, they saw something remarkable. Children who were sick and in pain brightened immediately when the therapy dogs entered. Small hands reached out to pet soft fur, and genuine laughter filled the rooms. "Watch this," Blue Spark whispered, pointing to a young human who hadn't spoken since arriving at the hospital. The child was now talking quietly to a therapy dog, telling its secrets while stroking its ears. The child's parents had tears in their eyes. "The predators seem to know they must be extra gentle here," Green Whisper observed. The dogs moved carefully around medical equipment, stayed calm despite strange hospital sounds, and approached each child with perfect patience. They watched as another therapy team, this time with a cat, visited elderly patients. The cat settled onto beds and laps, purring loudly. The aliens noticed how the older human's vital signs improved when petting the cat: lower blood pressure, reduced stress levels, more relaxed breathing. They're not just pets, Red-Eye realized. They're medicine. The team's next stop was the mental health unit. Here, they witnessed humans struggling with invisible wounds finding comfort in the presence of therapy animals. One patient who hadn't smiled in weeks broke into a grin when a small dog performed tricks for her. The animals provide something the human doctors cannot, Blue Spark noted. Unconditional acceptance. They don't judge or demand anything. They just offer comfort. Their investigation led them to another fascinating discovery: service animals. They watched a dog guide a blind human safely through busy streets. Another dog alerted its human to an oncoming seizure before it happened. A third helped its human who had difficulty walking. These partnerships go beyond simple companionship, Green Whisper said. The animals become extensions of their humans, helping them overcome physical challenges. The team visited a veterans rehabilitation center next. Here, soldiers who had seen terrible things were learning to trust and feel again through interactions with animals. One tough-looking warrior softened completely while grooming a horse, talking quietly about things he couldn't tell his human doctors. The animals help them heal from wounds we can't see, the center's director explained. Many of our veterans find it easier to connect with animals first, then slowly rebuild their connections with people. Red Eye watched as a service dog helped calm its human during a panic attack, pressing its weight against them and licking their face until the fear passed. The bond between them was incredibly strong. The dog somehow knew exactly what its human needed. Their research took an interesting turn when they discovered something called animal-assisted therapy. They observed children with learning difficulties reading to dogs without fear of judgment. Adults recovering from injuries worked on their mobility by walking therapy horses. People with autism connected with gentle animals in ways they struggled to connect with humans. The healing goes both ways, a therapy trainer told them. They watched as she worked with a rescue dog that had been abused. The dog was helping children heal from similar traumas, and in the process, it was healing too. They understand each other in a way we sometimes can't, she explained. At a nursing home, the aliens witnessed elderly humans who rarely spoke suddenly becoming animated when therapy animals visited. One old human with memory problems couldn't remember their family's names but still remembered every detail about the therapy dog that visited each week. Their vital signs improved dramatically during animal visits, Blue Spark reported, secretly scanning the humans. Stress hormones decrease, while positive hormones increase. The animals are literally changing their body chemistry. The team's most powerful observation came at a children's therapy center. A young human who hadn't walked since an accident found the motivation to take their first steps, wanting to reach a therapy dog waiting patiently a few feet away. The whole room erupted in tears and cheers when the child made it. "Look at the dog's reaction," Green Whisper pointed out. The therapy dog gently licked the child's face, tail wagging, somehow understanding it had helped achieve something important. Back on their ship, Red Eye struggled to put their findings into words for high command. "The humans have discovered something extraordinary," he wrote. "They've learned that the emotional bonds between species can heal physical and mental wounds. These predators we feared for so long can be powerful medicines when guided by human kindness." Blue Spark added his own observations. The animals seem to have an innate ability to sense human pain and distress. They offer comfort without words, proving that healing doesn't always require language or technology. "There's more," Green Whisper insisted. "The humans are using these bonds to help heal their own species divisions. In the therapy centers, we saw humans from all backgrounds finding common ground through their love of animals." Red Eye finished the day's report with a profound realization: the humans haven't just tamed predators or made them useful. They've discovered that the space between species can be filled with healing. They've turned ancient survival instincts into something entirely new, a force for recovery, rehabilitation, and emotional well-being. In his private log, he added, "Perhaps this is what truly sets humans apart. They don't just see animals as tools or companions. They recognize them as partners in the healing process, proving that the bonds between species can mend wounds we never thought could be healed." The alien research team's next discovery shocked them even more than the previous ones. They found humans actively working to protect and save entire species of animals, even the most dangerous ones. This concept was completely foreign to the aliens, who believed that letting dangerous species die out was simply natural selection. Red Eye led his team to a wildlife conservation center, where they posed as international researchers. The center's director welcomed them warmly, excited to share their work with protecting endangered species. "Currently, we're working to save several big cat species," the director explained, leading them to a secure area. Inside, they saw magnificent tigers, lions, and leopards. "These predators are disappearing from the wild, and we're trying to save them." Blue Spark couldn't contain his confusion. "But why save creatures that could eat humans?" he asked, trying to sound casual. The director's answer surprised them. "Because every species plays a vital role in nature's balance. When we lose predators, entire ecosystems can collapse. Besides, these animals have as much right to exist as we do. The team watched as conservationists worked with the big cats. They saw careful breeding programs to maintain genetic diversity. They observed humans bottle-feeding orphaned cubs, knowing these same cubs would grow into powerful predators. Most fascinating, Green Whisper noted. They're not just protecting useful animals. They're trying to save all species, even ones that offer no direct benefit to humans. Their next stop was even more impressive, a marine conservation facility. Here, humans were working to protect sharks, the very creatures that made many of them afraid to swim in deep waters. Sharks are misunderstood, a marine biologist told them, showing them their research. They're not mindless killers. They're essential predators that keep our oceans healthy. Without them, entire marine ecosystems would fall apart. The aliens watched as the humans tagged sharks to track their movements, treated injured ones, and worked to protect their breeding grounds. They even saw humans swimming with these powerful predators, studying their behavior up close. They're not just saving individual animals, Red Eye realized. They're trying to protect entire habitats. They learned about human efforts to preserve rainforests, coral reefs, and other ecosystems that housed countless species. The team visited a pangolin rehabilitation center next. These strange-looking animals were being hunted to extinction, and humans were fighting to save them. The aliens watched as caregivers carefully fed the shy creatures and treated them for injuries. Notice how they help even the unusual species, Blue Spark said. Not just the magnificent predators or cute animals. They recognize the value in all life forms. Their research led them to anti-poaching units, where they saw humans risking their lives to protect animals from other humans who would harm them. These rangers worked day and night, using advanced technology and trained dogs to guard endangered species. Some humans will die to protect these animals, Green Whisper observed, watching rangers patrol dangerous areas. They believe the survival of these species is worth their own lives. The team discovered something called wildlife corridors, special protected paths that allowed animals to move safely through human-developed areas. They saw bridges built over highways so animals could cross safely, and special tunnels under roads for smaller creatures. They're not just protecting the animals, Red Eye noted. They're adapting their own infrastructure to accommodate other species' needs. At a butterfly conservation center, they learned how humans work to save even the smallest creatures. Every species matters, a conservationist explained, showing them rare butterflies. Even tiny insects play crucial roles in pollination and the food chain. The aliens were particularly impressed by seed banks and frozen zoos, places where humans preserve genetic material from endangered species. They're planning for the future, Blue Spark realized. Trying to ensure these species have a chance even if they disappear from the wild. They visited a place called a rewilding project, where humans were reintroducing predators to areas where they had disappeared. The aliens watched as wolves were released into their ancient territories, with humans carefully monitoring their progress. Most species would eliminate competitors, Green Whisper said. But humans are actively bringing them back, trying to restore nature's balance. The team's understanding deepened and they discovered human efforts to breed and release endangered species. They saw California condors soaring free after being brought back from near extinction, and black-footed ferrets reclaiming their prairie homes. One of their most surprising discoveries was how humans used modern technology to help animals. They saw drones monitoring wildlife, artificial intelligence tracking animal movements, and satellite imagery protecting habitats. They're using their most advanced tools not to dominate nature, but to protect it, Red Eye observed as they watched conservationists use thermal imaging to count endangered animals at night. Back on their ship, the team struggled to explain this behavior to high command. The humans understand something fundamental that we've missed, Red Eye wrote in his report. They see themselves as guardians of their planet's biodiversity, not just its masters. Blue Spark added his analysis. their efforts to save predators and dangerous species seem illogical at first, but they understand that every species is part of a complex web. Remove one thread, and the entire web can unravel. Perhaps most remarkably, Green Whisper noted, they do this work knowing they might never see the results. Some of these conservation projects will take generations to show success. Yet they persist. Red-Eye concluded his report with a profound observation: the humans have achieved something unprecedented in our galaxy. They've moved beyond mere survival to become active protectors of all life on their planet. They understand that their own survival depends on maintaining the delicate balance of nature, even if that means protecting creatures that could harm them. In his private log, he added, "We came here to study how humans tame predators, but we've discovered something far more significant. They haven't just learned to live with dangerous creatures, they've taken responsibility for ensuring the survival of all species on their world." This level of ecological awareness and interspecies empathy is truly remarkable. High Command's final message was clear: the alien team needed to make first contact with humans. After months of observation, it was time to reveal themselves and learn if humans could teach their species how to form bonds with predators. The decision would change both species forever. Red-Eye gathered his team on their main ship. "We've learned more than we ever expected," he told them. "But now comes the real test. Will humans accept us? Will they share their knowledge?" The team chose a remote wildlife sanctuary for their first contact. They figured humans who dedicated their lives to animals would be most likely to accept alien visitors. As their ship descended, they saw people gathering below, pointing at the lights in the sky. The sanctuary's staff stayed calm as the ship landed. Even more surprisingly, their animals remained peaceful. The dogs didn't bark aggressively, and the horses didn't panic. Somehow, the animals sensed the aliens meant no harm. Red-Eye emerged first, this time without a disguise. He stood tall in his true form, gray skin gleaming, antennae moving gently, large eyes blinking in Earth sunlight. The humans gasped, but nobody ran away. "We come in peace," Red-Eye said, using their universal translator. "We've been studying how you live with Earth's predators. We want to learn from you." A sanctuary worker stepped forward, a large wolf-dog mix walking calmly by her side. "You've been the ones watching us," she said. "We've noticed strange things happening around animal shelters and rescue centers." Blue Spark and Green Whisper emerged next. The wolf dog approached them, sniffed curiously, then wagged its tail. This simple act of acceptance seemed to break the tension. The humans relaxed, seeing that their animals trusted the aliens. "We've spent months learning about your relationship with Earth's creatures," Red-Eye explained. "On our world, we avoid all predators. We never imagined they could become friends and helpers." The humans listened as the aliens shared their observations. They told stories about the therapy animals they'd seen, the rescue operations they'd witnessed, and the conservation efforts they'd studied. The humans smiled, recognizing their own experiences. "But what amazes us most," Blue Spark added, "is how you do this out of love, not just for practical benefits. You help animals even when they can't help you back." A wildlife veterinarian spoke up. "That's because we understand that all life is connected. When we help animals, we help ourselves. When we protect them, we protect our own future." The aliens shared their own stories about their world, where they lived in constant fear of predator species. The humans listened with sympathy, then offered to help them learn a different way. "Start small," the sanctuary worker suggested. "Just like we did thousands of years ago with wolves. Build trust slowly. Show kindness. Offer friendship instead of showing fear." As they talked, more animals approached the aliens. Cats rubbed against their legs, dogs brought them toys, and even the sanctuary's rescued birds showed curiosity instead of fear. The aliens were amazed at how quickly Earth's animals accepted them. "We've learned so much from you," Green Whisper said. Not just about handling predators, but about seeing the world differently. About understanding that strength isn't always about dominance. The humans offered to set up an exchange program. They would send animal behavior experts and trainers to the alien world, while alien scientists could stay on Earth to study human-animal bonds more closely. But before we agree, Red-Eye said, we must know, will you help us protect and preserve the predator species on our world, even though they've been our enemies for so long? The humans didn't hesitate. Of course, the veterinarian said. Every species has its place in the universe. We'll help you find ways to live in harmony with them, just as we've learned to do here. As the day went on, more people arrived at the sanctuary. Scientists, animal trainers, conservationists, and ordinary pet owners came to meet the aliens. They all shared stories and offered help. The aliens were moved by how quickly humans accepted them, just as they accepted Earth's predators. There was no fear, no hostility, only curiosity and a willingness to help. Red-Eye sent his final report to High Command. The humans have taught us the greatest lesson of all. True strength lies not in dominating or avoiding other species, but in finding ways to live together in harmony. Their ability to turn predators into friends isn't just about animal training, it's about seeing the potential for good in all living things. As the sun set on that historic day, humans and aliens sat together, surrounded by Earth's creatures. Dogs dozed at their feet, cats purred in their laps, and overhead, eagles soared freely. This is just the beginning, Red-Eye told his team. The humans have shown us a new way forward. Perhaps one day, all species in the galaxy can learn to live together as they do here on Earth. Blue Spark watched a child fearlessly playing with a large dog while an alien observer sat nearby. They've done more than teach us about handling predators, he said. They've shown us that the universe is full of potential friends, if we're brave enough to offer kindness first. Green Whisper added, and they've proved that size and strength don't matter as much as heart and compassion. These humans, despite being physically weaker than many species, have achieved something remarkable through love and patience. As they prepared to begin this new chapter of interspecies cooperation, Red-Eye made his final log entry. We came to Earth to study how humans tame predators. Instead, we learned that they don't tame them at all, they befriend them. They've shown us that the greatest power in the universe isn't force or fear, but love and understanding. This discovery will change not just our world, but countless others across the galaxy. The humans and aliens worked late into the night, making plans for their joint future. And all around them, Earth's creatures, from the smallest cat to the largest horse, accepted them as part of their extended family, showing that in the end, the bonds of friendship know no species barriers.